Hey everyone, thank you so much for tuning in today. So, we just want to share with you and introduce ourselves in this first episode since none of you all even probably have heard of us, but I am Callie.
But we think we're famous.
Yes.
And I'm Lara.
And so we think we're famous. Not yet, but soon to be. So let's start off. So Laura, how did we meet each other? I think it'd be fun if we kind of shared with everyone our stories and when we first met.
Yes.
It was during COVID, and it was we actually met at our favorite workout studio.
Yeah, Bar 3 in the Highlands.
Yep. And like I said, it was
My
during
second home.
Yeah, our second home. It was during COVID, and during the time, we were all in class but wearing masks, and I remember seeing you across the studio and being like, "Oh,
yeah,
like you look so cute."
Yeah.
And
I remember the same thing too. You're wearing pink Ugg boots.
That's right. I always forget that.
I'll never forget it. I was like, oh my God, where did she get those? She's so cute.
Yeah.
And can I even talk to her?
Yeah. And then I don't even remember how or when, but eventually we started to build our friendship, and we all went out to lunch. And then we discovered that we
Cherry
have
Creek Grill.
so much in common, which I think is really neat. And here we are today doing this podcast for you guys because we are both creative, eternal optimists.
Yes.
Which, do you want to tell our guests why we kind of picked that name?
Yeah. So I had an idea of doing a podcast because I feel like I'm having the same conversation over and over again in my friend groups. I roll with a lot of CEOs, business leaders, people that are, building businesses, who have gone out of business, who are now rebuilding businesses, a lot of different walks of life. And we all have really interesting stories to tell, and they definitely have more interesting stories to tell. And I feel like nobody tells them. And I wanted to create a platform where everybody can kind of share their story and be open to motivate the public to, follow their dreams. Even if it's not becoming a CEO or starting your own business, just freaking go for it.
Or as we like to say, or husbands like to say, the American dream is still alive. So Speaking of husbands, are you married?
Yes, I am married.
And who are you married to?
I'm married to Peter Sweden. He is from Sweden, which I know is hilarious. We're the Swedens from Sweden.
It's easy to remember. I love that.
It's perfect. And yeah, I've been with him now for 12 years, and he's, he says he came here on a rowboat. And yeah, he's a very driven human being and started his business completely from scratch about 15 years ago. And so he's definitely one of the people with an interesting story to tell.
And is Peter a CEO?
Peter is a CEO.
And what business does Peter own and operate and run?
He owns Lifetime Windows and Siding.
Okay.
Roofing, baths.
He does it all.
It's all the things now. Yeah.
So
shout out to him.
Very successful. I can't wait to have him on the show. So you guys will have to stay tuned for and look out for Peter's episode when he joins us.
He says second season, so you guys get ready.
So we need you guys to listen. And
we need a lot of listeners,
please. please.
Exactly. How about you, Callie?
Let's see.
What's your background and who are you married to?
So I am married to the wonderful Frenchman, Stéphane Baudelis, and he is from France. And like Peter, it's very interesting that he is a foreigner, and he's also an entrepreneur. And he came here with less than $200 in his pocket.
Wow.
And was actually homeless, and has now worked him and built his empire and is the successful person he is today. So you guys will meet Stéphane in our upcoming episode. So stay tuned because he has so many fun stories to share. And I do want to shout out to my husband because he inspired me to follow my dreams. And so I am a CEO myself.
Yes.
which is very exciting.
Yeah. Shout out to On Vogue Hair Salon.
So I own a hair salon in Denver. It's called En Vogue Salon, and you can find us downtown in downtown Denver. And I've had this company for 11 years now.
It's
so
amazing.
I can't believe it.
Yeah. Well, they say that a lot of companies go out of business within the first 5 to 10 years. So you're past that.
Thank you.
We're going.
High five to that.
Do you know your own coffee order now, Callie?
I do know my own coffee order.
You do, because you had to.
I had to. So I'm glad that you bring this up, Lara, because and this is again why we wanted to do this show. And I think being, the label and the stigma of being a CEO seemed, at least even for myself, it seemed so unreachable.
Yeah.
And, CEOs like, oh my God, owning your own company, owning your own business is so up there. But anybody can do that.
Yeah.
And we're going to break that down for you guys and inspire you guys by bringing on CEOs and entrepreneurs. And I'll share my story as well in another episode. But going back to the coffee order, I had my aha moment of when I first realized I made it is I've just been so busy, go, work. And I was at the Starbucks drive-through. And this is so embarrassing, you guys. And you're either going to love me or hate me for this, but I'm going to share it anyway. So I pull up to the window and the lady's like, what's your order? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what my order is. And I realized.
You're like, I don't order my own coffee.
I don't order my own coffee. I mean, I do, but I don't. But why I share this story is because in that moment, it was like a aha, like, oh my gosh, like I have a business, I have a company. And it made me realize that what drives me every day are my staff and my people and my team members and the girls. And so it's not the fact that they go and run and get me coffee. It's that they're the ones that drive me and motivate me, and people like you.
Yeah.
You're so good at that. And that's when I really had that aha moment. So
yeah.
It's incredible.
That is crazy. I know. It was funny, actually. I was having the conversation about this podcast last night with my husband. And I was like, it's kind of wild because I know so many CEOs. I was raised by a CEO. My husband, not my husband, my father was a custom home builder down in Durango, Colorado. And that's definitely, where this all began. I feel like when I was 13 years old, I was around, the Bloombergs and a lot of really successful and powerful people in this world. And I just started having conversations with them when I was 13 years old. And I also realized that there's no difference between them and I and Stefan, who came over here and was, homeless at first, which is just wild, and then built up everything. It's just so crazy. But I've always been the motivator.
Yes, you
I've
are
been the person
motivator.
behind all my friends, my husband, my parents, everybody kind of, I've had friends that come to me and they're like, I was going to sell my business yesterday, but now I'm not going to do it because I fucking called you.
Yeah.
And you motivated me just to keep with it. And, so I love that. And I'm glad that people listen to me. So I appreciate it.
And you're so great. And that's why I say, let's go, because you are a motivator and you drive people. And I love that about you. And I love that you had this idea, and I was so inspired by it and attracted to it. And thank you for having me be a part of this journey.
Oh, I couldn't do it without you.
And listeners like you.
Yeah, exactly. So please subscribe.
Everyone.
So and Callie and I have been chatting too lately, and we didn't even realize how similar the two of us were. I was telling her about how my dad was a custom home builder, and she's like, oh my gosh. So tell us that story too.
Yeah. So literally, you guys, you're not going to believe this. I was just sitting here listening to Lara's story, and my dad, so a little bit about my background we're both Colorado girls. Yay.
Yeah. Yay.
And born and raised. Yes. So my brother and when my parents were first starting out in their lives, they lived just right outside of Aspen. They were kind of more hippies and, a little
And my parents met in Aspen and this stuff.
I love that.
So
crazy.
crazy.
And so my dad was a carpenter and custom home builder as well. And he did custom cabinetry, basically any woodwork. And he worked.
My dad was also a carpenter when we started.
Yeah. And
So
again, like, I think it's really incredible when you start having conversations with people, and you start sharing stories with people and having different conversations. You get to discover A, how much you have in common, B, how much we can learn from each other. And I love it. So
yeah, me too. It is. I mean, it's everything. And I feel like that's definitely what I want this podcast to be. I want it to be very open and authentic. As much as people obviously want to open up, we're going to get them as open as we possibly can.
Yep.
Because I think that it's important. And the more that I talk to people, the less unique people are. I feel like normalizing any problems, even, in marriages or anything like that. This is obviously not a marriage podcast, but, as we open up and we become closer and closer with our friends, and as you guys listen, I think that it becomes more and more common. And I love that this is kind of the first business one that I've heard about entrepreneurs where they open up about their hardships with that, because I feel like there's a lot out there on therapy and all those things. And a lot of people don't realize that business and the business journey is extremely hard. We just need to normalize that it's a tough time, and we all just need to come together and start talking about it, because we can learn a lot from each other.
Absolutely. And that's also why we want to get I guess that's the name of our podcast, right? Is we're going to get everyone unbuttoned.
Yes.
And meaning, like, we want to unbutton and we want to know the stories behind the success. And I think that's so important, because for myself included, I get asked, can you do this interview? Can you do this? Like, we want to write a story about the business, but it's not really like, but who's Calli? And especially as Americans, we're so work motivated and driven. It's the very first question right out of the gate when you meet someone is, hi, I'm Calli, I'm Lara. Well, what do you do?
Yeah.
It's literally the first word or phrase out of people's mouths. And it's like, why do we do that? Like, who is the person? Like, what?
Who's the person
your work
behind
should
it?
not describe you. And so that's also what we want to unbutton is who are the people behind the stories curtain. Of the success. Yes, behind the curtain.
Yeah. I mean, it is definitely like that. And I feel like, definitely being the daughter in a small town of a custom home builder, it was pretty crazy. And a lot of people didn't know the normalcy of our lives, and then also now being the wife of a pretty powerful CEO in Denver, just the normalcy of that too, and the hardships and the ups and downs that we've gone through and that everybody else is going through. It's, it's pulling the curtain away for you guys to just kind of see that, we've all had really tough times and taking risks. I want to encourage people to take risks.
Yes, take risks. I am not a risk taker. You guys will probably find out. Like, I am not. You are.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm the motivator. I'm like, go for it.
And I'm like,
if it pans out.
Exactly. And my nature, even though we are both Capricorns, but my nature is, I'm like, I don't like that. I don't want to do it. I'm not doing that. Like, even from silly workout classes to like cocktails, I'm like, I'm not doing that. And you're like, yes, you are.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you'll definitely learn me too. Fitness is a huge part of my life. And it always has been, but it definitely, since I had children, I have 2 small kids that are 5 now, and I will have a soon to be 3-year-old son in August. But when they came along, I just realized how much health is a big thing. And I don't even really do it to prolong my life, because I think that that's crap. You could get hit by a bus tomorrow.
True. It's true.
But I'm like, I just want to feel good every day, and I want to show up for my family, and it's what really puts my head in the right place. So I have to do it for me every single day and for everybody else around me, because I can be a real grouch if I don't do it.
I love that. And you motivate me so much when I'm like so tired laying in bed. I'm like, I don't even have kids. So I have zero excuse to get my butt out of bed and do it. And we will talk about working out and what we like to do as you guys get to know us too.
Yeah.
As I work out for my mental health. And I mean, I want to look great too if I can. But
that's definitely a perk.
But that, yeah, that is a perk. So
yeah.
Should we wrap up our...
Yeah. Do you want to wrap it up?
I don't know. How long are we supposed to talk for to like get down?
I wanted to do you want to do 20-minute episodes? So I was going to do like 23 minutes, 24 minutes.
4 minutes and we edit it down.
Yeah.
We'll obviously edit this part out.
Yeah.
Okay. So we started with our background. We're from Colorado, who we are.
Yeah.
I own a business.
Yep.
What else should we say about ourselves? If there's anything that we need to add.
I don't know. I guess we already touched on the husbands, the kid thing.
Husbands, the kids.
I mean, it could be just 15 minutes for the first one.
Let's see. Or let's
keep talking.
We'll keep talking and then so we're going to clap the end scene.
Yeah.
Okay. So we are so excited to have you guys joining us and listening to us. And this season, we are going to have a whole bunch of guests. Yeah. Like we mentioned, we're going to have Stefan Baudelaise, and he has so many stories. We may have to have him on as a split episode.
Yeah. Would love that. I don't know like a whole lot about his background either. So I'm really excited to interview him and get to know him better as well.
Yes. Okay, so I think we should end every episode with like a rapid fire round. I'm putting you on the spot now.
All right, I'm ready. I didn't even know this, guys, so here we go.
What time do you get up in the morning?
About 6 a.m.
Okay, what's your me? You don't even want to know. No,
I get back at you, girls. You're rapid firing me.
Okay, so I get up, I would say, but around 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
6:30 to 7:30.
Yeah,
just depends
she sleeps
on the day.
In, everybody. Just kidding.
I sleep in. What's your favorite go-to cocktail?
I would say a tequila soda with lime or a Casa Azul with a twist of orange, which I know is what Calli was expecting.
I was going to say, no, not any tequila. Casa Azul, people.
Yeah, Casa Azul.
Reposado.
Reposado.
So Casa Azul Reposado, if you're out there, we would love for you to sponsor us.
Yeah, exactly.
Please.
Send all the white and blue bottles.
All the white and blue bottles. We'll line them up right back here. Yes. I mean, it's going to be awesome.
There'll be along our wall. We'll rep you. Yeah. Be great. Okay. So am I doing the same to you now?
Yep.
What is your favorite music?
Okay, you guys. So this is I kind of have a funny story about this. It's supposed to be rapid fire, but here I go.
Yeah.
So I mentor and have a lot of salon apprentices and assistants that work for me. And so my latest apprentice, Grace, I love her to death. She is so funny. So she was like, "What kind of music do you listen to?" And I was like, "Electronic, EDM, trance." And she goes,
dying when she first said that.
She goes, "What?" And she goes, "I thought you listened to like smooth jazz." I'm like, "What? Are you kidding me?" No, but I love electronic music.
Yeah, I love it. Who's your favorite artist?
Oh, I'm kind of like old school electronic, like 2000. So I would say like David Guetta, Tiesto, Alice DJ.
Yeah. So you're ready for those Vegas pool parties?
I'm ready.
Perfect. What's your favorite place in the world that you've been to?
Oh my gosh. Oh, like city or beach or
anywhere. Doesn't matter.
this is a tough one. Okay, so I would have to say my favorite place that I've been to is the middle of the ocean.
Oh, wow. What?
To explain. So
I took a swim.
I took a swim. No, I really did. I really did. So we used to have a boat, and Stefan is a captain down in Miami. And we would do charters in between Miami Beach, and we would cross to the Bahamas. And my favorite place is we were crossing past the drop off, like Finding Nemo. You pass, you go in the deep ocean, and the water, you guys, was flat like a lake. Like I've never seen the ocean like this. So we turned off the boat, we got out, and we just jumped in the water, and I floated like a dead man float.
Wow.
And like thousands of feet deep water in the middle of the ocean. And so whenever I'm stressed out, I go to that place.
Wow. That's really cool.
So it's not really a place, but it's just right in the middle of the ocean.
And you just are the most at peace when you think about that moment.
I
love that.
Flat water.
Yes.
No waves.
No waves.
Then I'm calling the Coast Guard to helicopter
no
me
sharks,
out.
No anything. Perfect.
What about you? What's your favorite place that you've been to?
I know this is actually a really funny question. I am pretty well traveled. I'm not crazy, but I've been to Europe and all of the things. And my favorite place in the world is Beaver Creek, Colorado.
I love that so
I'm
much.
just the most at peace there. I love I know that it's dark, but everyone who pretty much knows me right now knows that that's where I want to die.
It's dark? What do you mean dark?
Well, it's dark just saying that's where I want to die.
Oh.
Yes. But it's definitely, I feel like I could just lay there as hopefully a very old lady and be like,
okay, I will make sure that happens for you.
Yes, thank you. You'll be like, Laura's sick. Let's get her ass to Beaver Creek.
You have to you have to take my ashes and throw them in the ocean.
Perfect. The middle of the ocean.
We're all
going out on a charter.
Yes.
Done. I love it. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We really, really are so excited about this podcast, and I think we're all going to learn a lot, and it's going to be really funny, and I'm sure there'll be tears and cries.
Yes.
And all the reality.
Yeah, let's get real. Let's do this. Let's get unbuttoned and join us. And
we can't wait.
Let's
do it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay, that was good.
I love it.